Now we hooked back up with Andy, and Andy is the inker. Andy, would you explain this process to us?
Sure. Inking is where I take black India ink in my brush, and my job is to basically clean up the pencils and establish depth and clarity and texture. I do this by different line weight variation and the different tools I use.
Now you're using a brush, is that correct?
Yep, I'm using a number 2 brush, and for most figure work I use a brush because it gives a nice soft look to the skin and costumes and things like that.
Now for our friends at home, a brush requires a lot of practice, doesn't it?
Oh yes, a brush requires tons of practice. I think I'm going on 15 years of using a brush. It's the hardest tool to control, but it's the most versatile one also.
And it dries very quickly as you're inking, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's the other plus behind a brush. If you use a pen, sometimes you'll have to wait for the ink to dry before you can put another line down so you don't smudge it. With a brush, it pretty much dries instantaneously.
Now, when you get this pencil drawing from the penciler, do you have any leeway in regard to embellishing on the artwork, or you pretty much have to go along the lines of the pencil that's already there?
Nope, I have a pretty good amount of leeway. It's up to me to decide where all the line weights go. Sometimes I figure out where I'm going to spot more black areas on the page compared to what the penciler put down to help balance out the artwork.
Now, line weight, you use that term. Would you explain that to us?
Sure. With a brush, you can get anywhere from a very thin line, or for the bottom of an object, you might want to get a little thicker to really show how the light wraps around the form.
I see. Okay, very interesting. Okay, after you're all finished, Andy, what would you do then? Would you erase the pencil lines? Is there anything else you would do?
Well, I'd erase the pencil lines, and then I'd probably go back in with a little bit of whiteout just to touch up any little mistakes I made or any little flaws I didn't like, and then I would hand it over to our colorist, Mike.
Okay, to the colorist we go. Well, we're here with colorist Mike Atiyeh. Hi, Mike.
How you doing, Bruce?
Good, thanks.
Good.
Now, you got the finished artwork, and then what happened?
What we did was we scanned it into a computer, and we're preparing to color it in a computer coloring program.
All right. Now, what happens next here? What do you do? Oh, no.
What we're doing right now is we're laying in the flat tones, and this is the darkest color that we're going to be using on each piece of the character.
Now, it looks like you're like making a circle around it.
That's right. Right here, we're going to make a circle around the teeth. That's the area we want selected, and we'll drop in the dark color of the teeth.
Okay. Now, how about like light and shadow and tones and things like that?
What we do for that is we select the area we want to have the highlight on,
Okay.
like right here, and then we use an airbrush, and we just build up the colors.
That is very cool.
And you build up the lightness to the point where there's shadow and light.
Now, who decides the light source? Is that you as the colorist, or is that indicated?
I follow what the penciler and inker do.
Oh, okay.
And, you know, you see the black underneath the chin, so it's a down shot.
I see.
And we're going to go from there.
Now, why is he gray?
He is basically a stone character. He's a gargoyle come to life.
Oh, okay.
And the cool thing about that is, you know, with this program, we're also able to add filters, like right here, to make him look like he's made of stone.
Oh, look at that. So he's got some texture now.
Exactly.
Well, could you show us the finished version of this character?
Absolutely. There he is right there.
Oh, look at that. That is so impressive. Well, Mike, you do very, very nice work. Thanks for showing us this. Now, what happens from here?
After this, the digital file will go to the letterer, where he'll put in the text and the sound effects and get it ready for production.
Okay. Well, on to the next step. All right, now we've seen how the story is written, the pencil stage, the ink stage, and the color stage. And now we're here with the letterer, Dave Lamphere. Hi, Dave.
Hi.
Okay, now can you show us how you make the characters talk?
Yeah, lettering is kind of the soundtrack of comic books, so I have the luxury of being able to design different fonts and balloon styles to go with each character.
Now, the fonts, are they already in the computer?
No, it's actually something that I'll hand draw, and then I'll scan in and turn it into a computer font.
I see. So you design the font.
That's right.
Pretty cool. Now, could you have him say something else?
Sure. Let me drop in some lettering right here.
Oh, look at that. Well, you tell him he's very welcome. I don't want to talk to him directly.
I can understand.
Okay. Now, besides the lettering and the balloons, what else happens at this stage?
Well, we'll also insert sound effects.
Sound effects. I love sound effects. Okay.
Here's a good one.
Whoa, grr, I like that one. All right, is that the proper spelling for Gur, by the way? Is it that many R's? It's
Sometimes we'll use 4 R's.
4 R's, okay. Well, it's purely an individual choice then, that's fine.
Yeah.
Well, is this the end of the line? Is this the last thing that happens for the comic book process?
Well, essentially this is it, except for the printing of the comic book.
Okay, well, thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
Pretty cool, huh? Well, Andy, thank you so much for showing us around today. This has been a real treat.
Well, Bruce, I hope you enjoyed your visit to Cross Generation Comics.
Well, sure did. You know, I had no idea there were so many steps involved in creating a comic book.
Oh, there's a lot of steps, and here is the finished product.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you very much. I can't wait to read this. Well, for more information on features like this, visit me on my website at bruceblitz.com for drawing tips, cartooning tips, crafts projects, all sorts of neat things. Thanks again.
Hey, thank you, Bruce.
Now stay tuned for Cartoon Doodle Tricks.